So last night we saw all of these guys coming out. Were there any surprises that you weren't expecting, or was it as crazy or more mild than you thought it would be?
Oh man, night one. I mean, everything was a surprise to me because I had no idea what to expect. I think the biggest surprise coming out of the limos was a guy from Minneapolis that I knew, and I did not expect to see anyone that I had ever encountered before. So that was a shock to me. But all of the guys and their entrances were so funny, they kept me laughing.
Okay, well, since you mentioned Jake, what do you think? Do you really think his intentions weren't pure, or he wasn't there for the right reasons? Or?
Yeah, I think with Jake, we had met multiple times, and he had a couple years to show any interest, if there was any. And, you know, to be honest, there wasn't really on either end when we had met those few times. And so I felt like for him coming on the show, it was more for the show, for the Bachelorette, and not Becca.
Okay. And you didn't feel like giving it a date or anything would change the way you felt?
No.
Okay. And I assume you watched the show back.
I did.
Were you surprised at the conversations that went on between the men?
I mean, that's one thing that I looked forward to, was hearing what the guys had to say when I wasn't around. And I missed so much because I'm only focusing on each and every conversation as they're happening. And especially that first night, there's craziness and everyone is still getting to know one another. There's the jitters, there's the nerves. And so it was funny to hear what a lot of them had to say. Mm-hmm. Jordan kept me laughing.
Yeah. Did he come across as so self-absorbed when you first met him?
No, well, see, that night, I didn't actually have time to talk with him. And so it wasn't until, I mean, you'll see next week on the group dates that I really had my first conversation with him. And, you know, Jordan is Jordan. He kept me laughing. He beats to his own drum. But, yeah, I knew going into the weeks with him that modeling was his thing. And he was very into fashion, very into his appearance.
Okay. And is there anyone, looking back, that you eliminated that first night that you maybe wish you would have kept?
No, I think that's a tricky question because I was going off of my gut instinct, and I had a lot of guys there that I felt hope in, and that I felt, the initial attractions, like it could be working again. And so, yeah, sending guys home, I didn't get to know 7 of them that well, but I still stand by my decision.
Mm-hmm. And do you feel like the show has brought up Ari the right amount, too much? Do you want to just move past that? Like, what are your feelings on the whole thing?
Yeah, I mean, Ari was brought up. A lot of the guys had questions about him and the relationship, and so I wanted to always address those with the guys. But I came onto this journey, for me to find my person, and I knew that he would be part of the conversation. But, when I saw him after the final rose, I really wished him the best, and I wanted to, close the chapter of that book and put it aside and move forward.
Mm-hmm. And will we see your ex show up again?
No.
No?
You will not see Ross. I'm assuming you're talking about Ross.
Yes.
No, not at all.
Okay, and you announced that you are engaged and happy.
I am, yes.
So, televised wedding, not televised wedding?
No plans on anything wedding related yet at this point. We're just really enjoying our time together and still getting to know one another.
And does it feel a lot different this time around being engaged than it did last time with Ari? What is your thought process, and how does it feel different?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's so different because the guy is so different, and he makes me feel a different way. And with Ari, because it was his journey, his decision at the end for the most part, I always wondered if he felt confident in that decision. And this time around, because I went through it and I could really exhaust all of the relationships that weren't the best fit for me, I feel so much more confident, so much more me, like this relationship is really suited for me.
Thank you, and congratulations.
Thank you.
We're so happy for you.
Thank you guys, are so sweet.